What's going on, guys? BSG T2 Trek Fan 88 here. Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Eve at the time of this recording. However, it's probably not going to go up until the wee hours of Christmas morning. Merry Christmas, as I said before. This is just going to be a quick video here. It's been very busy. This is my first holiday time when I've worked retail in 3 years, so it's been a while and it's tired me out. I mean, I've worked quite a few hours, not as many hours as the post office, but I'm on my feet a lot more. So I'm not posting as many videos, but this video is kind of just like a Merry Christmas, if you're young enough, what do you want for Christmas? If you're old enough, what would you like for Christmas? Me personally, Christmas, especially Christmas Eve, no matter where you work, no matter where you live, for the most part, Christmas Eve is one of those days where when you go to work, you have the next day off, unless you work at a gas station or Dunkin' Donuts or something like that, to which I tip very well. For instance, if I go to like a Tedeschi's or whatever, I'll be like, hey, do you want anything? I'll buy you something. Or Dunkin' Donuts, I usually put like a 5 in the cup, something like that. But for the most part, people have the day off, right? Even retail workers, unless you work for certain companies. Anyway, so, it's the one night where, you're working when you get out, you have the next day off. It's the one holiday that is celebrated worldwide, right? I mean, I know you have, Thanksgiving, 4th of July. I'm an American, obviously. So I have our holidays. Now, I've worked a wide variety of jobs where some I would have every holiday off, some I would have just a few, like the post office, and some I would have just 2. That's retail. I grew up working retail, and that's where I'm back at right now. And we have Thanksgiving off, and we have Easter off, and we have Christmas off. Technically, not every state has stores that are closed on Easter, so whatever. So Christmas Eve, at work, we could wear a Christmas sweater if we wanted to, and I wore a sweater for the first time in 15 years or so since I was a little kid, and man, I don't like sweaters. I am a t-shirt, polo, khaki pants kind of guy. I do not do sweaters. But hey, I won the contest. I think me and another guy kind of took home the gold, if you will. I wanted to talk about A Christmas Story. Now, I was going to make some really big video, and I was going to have different intros and stuff. You know what? I'm too tired for that. So if you want me to, for about 4 or 5 minutes here, I'm just simply going to talk about it. If you're a friend of mine, or know me, you know that every friggin' Christmas Eve and every Christmas Day, when we're in front of the television, whether we're opening presents, having dinner, Christmas Eve at my house is kind of laid back. We do a Christmas Eve dinner, we do a Christmas Day dinner. We don't have many people over. I wish I could, but it's very hard, especially with the people who I know. But it's pretty laid back. But if we're in the same room, and the way our floor plan is designed, when we eat dinner, we can see the television if we want to. We turn it off most of the times. Excuse me. I'm known for putting on the movie A Christmas Story, which kind of dates back to my childhood, and this is what I'm getting at here. Everybody has their favorite Christmas movie, and honestly, mine would probably be Die Hard, or Jingle All the Way, or Home Alone, or A Christmas Story. It's not just A Christmas Story. But ever since I can remember, when I was younger, I had a television in my room with no cable, but a PlayStation, or an NES. But honestly, I couldn't tell you what year it was. But I discovered that if I hooked up an antenna to my TV and did an auto program, I would get channels. And lo and behold, at some point, I either got a box or I programmed it, and I got TBS, the Superstation, which is a cousin to TNT. And for the longest time, they have been doing 24 hours of A Christmas Story, where at 8 p.m., I think one year they started at 6, but whatever, 8 p.m., they would show A Christmas Story, which is a movie that's about an hour and a half long, give or take, which is almost perfect for a 2-hour time block if you cut a couple things out. But I think TNT or TBS, when they show A Christmas Story, it's pretty much uncut. Anyway, so when I was a kid, I would, and again, being a kid, no job, Christmas Eve, fucking A Christmas Story was on, and I would watch the thing while doing stuff in the background, but for the most part, watch it. And to this day, I'm 26 now, I will still Christmas Eve on my television, or right now I actually am looking at A Christmas Story. And if you don't believe me, there it is right there on my secondary monitor. I'll throw it on just as, oh, by the way, that was a really bad shot here. Hold on. Let's wait a second here. That's the teacher, blah, 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 doing a report. Oh, black eye. And there's Ralphie. Okay, there you go. You get what I'm saying. When I was a kid, I would put it on, C+, that's part of the movie. I would put it on as background noise, or I would watch it. And ever since I was a kid, and I've always been kind of a movie buff, so I might have been younger than most when they pick it up, but compared to nowadays, where A Christmas Story is very heavily advertised, there's a lot of product for it. You can buy the leg lamp, blankets. I had one at one point. Action figures, toys. When I was growing up, A Christmas Story was kind of just on its own. The big DVD/Blu-ray release hadn't come out yet. It was known for the movie that's on 24 hours, or repeating itself on a Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. It wasn't as popular as it is now, and I'm kind of glad I grew up when I did. But, to this day, I've done it now at least 10 years in a row. Easily. I did some math earlier. I'm 26 now, and I was 16, blah, blah, blah. So 12 years now. I think pretty much when they started doing it 24/7. And now it's kind of well known, especially with the internet and social media and Facebook and YouTube especially. The movie is much more well known and well received. But when the film came out, it wasn't a huge release. It was eventually. But to me, it does hold a special place in my heart. Christmas is not the same without it. Every Christmas, if I get home late from work, because there were a couple of years when I worked retail and we had to close the store, and I had to go do something, or there was one year where I do volunteer my time every now and then when I get the chance to do like a soup kitchen, or just volunteer once or twice a year. And Christmas time is the time I do it. Not many people know I do it, but I do. And I would get home late, and it's like, look, it's fucking 12 o'clock. It's Christmas Day, technically, 12:01. Screw it. Let's put A Christmas Story on, and I'll watch it. Have a few, like right now, Christmas Eve, having a few drinks, relaxing, working a long retail week, and put it on. And there's so much I absolutely love about this film. The way it's shot, it's a simple movie. The narration, how when you watch this film, it's kind of hard for me to explain. If you've seen A Christmas Story and you're a diehard fan like I am, you know that in the background you have a train whistle or a random city sound effects that just sound like they're fucking so ancient and old that like you can tell this movie was made on a reasonably low but okay budget, and it's not a perfect film. And I remember the first year that this film was broadcast in HD, simulcast is what they used to call it, when it was broadcast on normal definition or standard def SD and HD, and I was flipping back and forth going, oh cool, it's widescreen now, trying to figure out the differences. And now that I've seen it enough times, it's different, but it still maintains its old school charm. It feels like a movie that was made in 1983. And of course, being a kid growing up with this film, how can you not relate to Ralphie? Wanting that one present. We've all been a kid before, right? Hopefully, if you're watching this, unless you're an alien or a cyborg, we've all wanted that one gift. I remember the one thing I've always wanted for me, believe it or not, was something relatively simple. It was a Lego set. I remember for Christmas one year, the whole fucking year, it's when we lived in Mashpee, here in Massachusetts, and there's this toy store in Mashpee Commons, and every time I went in there, I was like, I want that Lego set. It was, when you're a kid, and you have those big-ass Lego sets that cost today, $200, $150, when you're a kid, that's expensive, and it's like, I'll never have one of those. And one Christmas I got it, and it was the best Christmas gift I ever got. But we've all wanted that one gift. So number one, you can relate to Ralphie. Number two, when you get older, like not now, because I'm 26, but a little bit younger than I am now, but you're still old enough and mature enough. The narration that he's talking about, how he swears, how the father can, when the furnace goes out, there's a lot of adult, not humor, not gross out, but just a lot of jokes in this film. A lot of stuff that, when you watch this, it's great as a kid, and it's great as a young adult, and as you get older, you understand more and respect more and realize more. It's just one of those movies where I think, you know, it's 2015 almost. I think this movie is going to stick around for a long time. It's one of those films that you know it's going to be shown during the holidays. It's kind of like my generation's, what the hell is that movie with Jimmy Stewart? It's a Wonderful Life. I think It's a Wonderful Life was my parents' generation, their movie. My generation is A Christmas Story. A couple people's generations below me, like people who right now are 20, 18. I think that's maybe Elf with what the hell's his name from SNL? You know the movie Elf, okay, with Zoe Deschanel, who I love. You know, just this video is already 11 minutes long. It's almost over. A Christmas Story is actually one of the few films that I love. I watch this movie once a year. When I say once, a couple times, but one time a year. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I've been given this movie as a gift. I have literally, you know, people have brought it over and say, let's watch it. And I go, nope. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. It's a tradition of mine. You know, I can remember as far back. And again, I tried doing math earlier. I think this is like the 12th, 13th, maybe 14th year. It's been a while. And when you're a kid, things are a lot different. You know, especially when I didn't have Xbox Live or the internet, where it was just my home. You know, I remember I would watch the first one, you know, 8 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock at night, whatever year, whatever time they were doing. I would have to watch the first one, period, no matter what I'm doing. And then I would have to watch one while, after dinner, while going to bed. I would just lay in my bed and watch one more. And then Christmas morning, I would usually wake up early because I'm an early riser, at least I was. My sleep schedule was all fucked up from working retail again. You know, I would watch one more before we all got up to open presents as a family. And then it would be on throughout the day on my TV just as background noise. And then I would kind of make a point, just because it felt good to me, I would make a point to kind of watch the last one, at least have it on. Because knowing that, alright, Christmas is officially over. A Christmas Story is now done. It's 8 o'clock at night the next day. There's not going to be another Christmas movie for another 364 technically days. So I'd make a point to have the last one at least on. And I still do that to this day. I'm 26. I'm going to be 27 this year, or coming year. And I'm an adult. And I still do it. It's just one of those things that I do. And, you know, let me know in the comment section below. Do you do the same thing? Do you think I'm an idiot? Do you think I'm insane? Do you have a favorite Christmas movie? Maybe not A Christmas Story. You know what? A Christmas Story isn't for everybody. There's a lot of narration, obviously. It's well paced. It's not a quick movie. You need to sit down and watch it if you've never seen it before. But the acting is solid. The script is awesome. The narration's great. It's a very simple, basic holiday film, and I love it. And yes, I will be honest with you. And don't worry, this video is almost over. Getting older and working and coming home and gotta wrap presents, gotta change, shower. Have I been as diligent as I have been in the past? No. I'll make a point. Like when I came home today, I put it on my TV, just had it on. And now that I'm kind of done wrapping, it's now 12:30 a.m. So Merry Christmas. You know. I wrapped presents, I relaxed, you know, we had dinner, dessert as a family, had a few drinks. Now that I'm done for the night, and then I have the next 24 hours off, I gotta work the day after Christmas very early, but whatever. You know, now I can kind of sit and watch it. Now my attention span, and I think everybody's attention span, especially now, again, I mentioned before, I didn't have the internet, I didn't have Xbox Live, so when I watched the film, my attention was being drawn to it. Now, as you can see, as you saw before, I have a monitor here and a monitor up there. So it's not like my attention span is just on the movie, but at least I have it on, you know? And I will watch it. I think tomorrow morning I'm going to get up a little early, because everybody likes to sleep in. I sleep in, but I wake up early for whatever fucking reason. I'll probably watch it, you know? Part of me wants to buy or have given to me the Blu-ray disc and the DVD just so I can listen to the audio commentary, but the other side of me wants to keep this film just the way it is. And I only watch this movie Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. This is probably the only movie that rivals Terminator 2 for me for the most viewings. You gotta figure at least 2 every year for the past few years. Every year. So, I mean... anyway. So anyway, this is BSG TrekFan88 here. Have a good night. Have a good day. Merry Christmas. And again, if you have anything to say, leave it in the comments below. How old are you? Do you watch this movie? Are you like me? Do you have any thoughts, comments? Let me know. I mean, I'm very curious to see how old you are. If you tell me you're 15 and you tell me that you've been watching this movie every Christmas, hey, we're the same. If you tell me you're 26 and you've never seen this movie, shame on you. No, I'm kidding. You get the idea.